going to be bleaching knots. Here are all the products that you're going to need to bleach knots. A 5x5 closure, of course. I am using a 5x5 HD closure. It's raw South Indian hair. They double knot the back half of the closure and then single knot the front. So as you can see here, the knots are pretty big and then they're smaller at the top of the closure. We are going to be using today a blue powder lightener and then creamer developer. So the lightener is by Salon Care. It's called Blue Flash, and then a 40 cream developer by Salon Care as well. But if you are new to bleaching knots, I would suggest using a 30 volume creamer, just to, kind of get a speed idea of how you should be bleaching the knots, how fast the creamer developer and powder lightener works together to bleach the knots. You don't want it to bleach too fast. So then we're going to use a mixing bowl and a whisk. So what I am going to do is I have a tablespoon measuring spoon, and I'm going to do 2 scoops, as you can see here. So 1 tablespoon, 2 scoops. You really only need maybe 1.5 scoops. It does not take a lot to bleach a HD closure, a 5x5 at that. So, and you want the consistency to be about the thickness of a relaxer. So I am going to pour just a little bit of creamer in there. And you see exactly how much I poured in. It's a little bit more than I should have, but let's mix it and see how thick the consistency is. The creamer developer, I really like it over the liquid. Especially when you're bleaching out, you don't want to use the liquid developer. Use the creamer developer. It helps you get more of a thicker consistency. So right now I'm just mixing and mixing, and you want to mix it really well. You don't want to have a lot of powder still sitting there that's not mixed in well with the creamer. And as you can see, it is very thick. So I'm going to pour a little bit more creamer on there. Not a lot, just a little bit. As you can see, just a couple of drops, and we're going to mix it a little bit more. Get it a little bit less, get it a little less thick. And it's still really, 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 really thick. So I'm probably going to add maybe 1 or 2 more drops of the developer to the bowl. Now, you don't want to keep adding too much developer, because you add a whole lot of developer, it is going to over bleach the knots faster. Now, this should give us the perfect amount of developer, and it gives us like a really creamy but thick consistency. You don't want the bleach to be running when you're putting it on. You want it to be a thick consistency, again, about as thick as a perm. So as you can see, it's not falling or flopping off of the whisk at all. It's really thick, but it's creamy, like a thick creamy texture. Now you want to take your aluminum foil, because once you're done brushing the bleach onto the closure, you are going to set your closure face down onto the foil. Now here we have our closure. So I'm just showing it to you what it looks like without being bleached. Excuse me. So what I use to spread the bleach onto the 5x5 closures is a plastic knife. I don't use this. You can use the plastic spatulas too, but I just prefer to use the knife because it's lightweight and it's not as easy to press into the closure. So when you're putting that bleach onto the closure, you don't want to press it in. You just want to lay it across lightly, lightly, but enough so that it gets into that it reaches the knots to bleach your knots. Okay, so you're gonna spread it on like you spread butter onto a slice of bread. So I'm just rubbing it on there and I'm doing it really slow. So we're gonna speed this part of the video up because uh, I get a little nervous when bleaching knots, especially HD knots, because knots bleach a little faster on HD closures. That's just my experience. So I try to take my time, but here we laid it down on the foil, and as you can see, once you turn it over, you should not have the bleach bleeding through. We're going to do 15 minutes and then we'll come back. Set a timer, come back and check it after the 15 minutes is up. If you need more time, add another 5 minutes. This is me checking on it after 5 minutes. It has not bleached all the way through, but you can see it's starting to turn. Then we're going to wash it out. And as you can see, it has a very orangey base to it still. I let it bleach an extra 5 minutes after the 15 minutes just because the back half of that closure, like I said, the knots were very big. And I just wanted to get them a little bit lighter. So it is very orange, which we do not want. So what I do, just to tone that out, is I use a blue shampoo and then a purple shampoo. We use the blue shampoo first to get out all of the orange, and then the purple shampoo afterwards to get rid of the brassiness. So I'm just washing and rinsing it a little bit more. And this is blue shampoo. And that's the purple shampoo that I like to use. It is very good. Since it has a lot of orange, I am going to do a nice amount of blue shampoo just to get rid of that orange. And I'm probably going to do it once or twice. Be careful with the blue shampoo because if you use too much, it will stain the lace. I've done it before and it is hard to get out. So I'm just going to do a little bit the first time, wash, check and see if I got rid of the orange. And then if not, I'm going to put a little bit more and I'll keep doing that until I get rid of enough orange. Now we're going to do the purple shampoo. You don't always need a lot of purple shampoo after you've done the blue shampoo. But I'm going to do it maybe once or twice, just a little bit, and then just keep checking after each wash to see if I got rid of enough of the orangey brass looking color. So I still don't like it, so I'm gonna go give it another little wash. But you can see some of that orange brassy color is starting to, you know, lift. And then this is the final results. So this is what your closure should look like once you finish washing it. And it is, the knots are perfectly bleached to my liking. Now I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how I pluck the knots. That was going to be just my next video, but I figured since we had already bleached this, we'll go ahead and do the knots too as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pin this down to my mannequin head. I'm going to put it as if it's going to be a middle part. More 9 out of 10, I'm going to do a middle part with this. I may consider doing a side part, but I'm just going to pluck the front half. So I'm pinning the front. I'm not pulling at the lace or stretching the lace out. I'm just putting it down neatly, just enough so it's flat. So when I go ahead and pluck the closure. Don't that look good, y'all? So I am going to be using the Design Essentials Almond and Avocado Curling and Enhancing Mousse. I just use it to slick the front of the hairline back. It helps lay a lot of that hair. Now I know it seems like it looks like the closure is plucked, but it is not pre-plucked at all. It's just a single knot at the front of it. So it's kind of boxy. It's like a square boxy type of hairline. So you see where the bulk kind of starts? That is where we're going to start plucking from. So I'm going to part it down the middle. And I like to part it down the middle and do one half first and then the other half second, just so I can make sure that I'm not over plucking on one side more than I am the other. So we're going to start maybe about 1 inch back from the hairline where you see the closure starts to get a little thick. Now, because it's going to be a middle part or a side part, but probably a middle part, when I make the wig, I am not going to over pluck. You don't want to over pluck anyway, because you over pluck a closure too much, it'll start balding faster sooner, and they'll have to replace the closure on their unit sooner than they should. So I'm just going to lightly pluck. You see, I'm not taking a lot off, just a little bit. And as you're plucking, you want to make sure you keep laying the hair flat. You keep rubbing it down with your hand for it to be flat, and then you do your plucking. And I am using slanted tweezers. And please do not pluck too hard or snag too hard when you're plucking at the closure, because you will put a hole in it, and that is just a pain in the butt to fix. See, so as I pull part one more small section, you want to part in small sections. As I part in small sections, you can see it's creating a natural hairline. So each time I pluck a section, part, and pull down another section, you'll start to see. And we just keep continuing that process, and now you see how it looks. It looks so natural, and it looks so good as you pull the last piece of hair back, which is the front part of the hairline, the actual hairline. You're going to keep that as smooth as possible. You're going to pull it with your hand as taut as you can. And you're going to gently pluck at the hairline. You are not going to do a lot of plucking here. You're going to do a lot of really, really light plucking. You don't want to over pluck, and then it looks like you got a bald spot at your hairline. You see, I'm not heavy plucking. It's really, really light. But you can already see a difference on the side that I plucked and the side that has not been plucked. And you also don't want to over pluck, because there's a lot of people that when you make their wigs and they get it, they do not like an over plucked hairline, or sometimes their hairline, it doesn't fit their hairline, and so they need to pluck it a little bit more to mimic their hairline. And you just don't want to over pluck it, and then when they get it and they try to install it, it's not going to look right. And so once we're done with this side, we're just going to do the same thing to the other side. But as you can see, there's the difference. There's the difference. And that looks absolutely beautiful. And natural. It's not over plucked. It's not extremely dramatic where it looks crazy, you guys. It looks so good. That's what we're going for. Now we're just doing the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to speed the video up, because I hope by now you kind of get the concept of what it is that you want to do. If you have any questions, you can always comment, ask questions. You can message me. I am more than happy to help. If you do need one-on-one assistance, or you need some, we can get a call together, and we can set something up to help you out. Okay, so here what I am doing is I had a couple that I plucked and I didn't pluck them all the way out of the closure, so they're just short pieces of hair that was plucked. So I'm going through and I'm pulling those short pieces out that I didn't pluck all the way from the closure. That's all I'm doing. I'm not plucking any extra hairs. Just cleaning up the few that I plucked that I did not pluck fully out of the root of the closure.